So now, every time I walk out my mother's house there, now she's staying in a different place in Chapman Street. As soon as I open the fucking door, cars are coming past, boom, 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 cars are flying past. There's a roundabout just there. Fucking cars are going circles around the roundabout. The buses are coming past. Everything's just going, it's there fast. I just walked out the door. Fucking everything's happening, it's there. I'm putting the key in the door. Hey, zoom, zoom, zoom. Noise everywhere. Hey, cars are going fast. The Aboriginal girls from down the road and their babies, they all follow me. They're pushing their prams, it's like they're chasing me. Fucking they got their babies in the pram and they're walking fast. Now my hip is stuffed, I'm recovering, so I'm cruising along. It's like people are trying to make me move fast, The girls pushing their prams. Like, where did you all come from? As soon as I step out the door, everybody's around, Everything's happening. Everything's happening in my vision. The noises, there's loud noises going. Cars making a loud noises. People are fucking walking fast. Everything's happening, man. Hey. I'm thinking, now I'm quietly thinking to myself, wow, this is all going on and it's all happening. Now I'm alone and isolated. I got no one to talk to except the dog. I'm taking him for a walk. So I'm holding all this inside. I can't tell anyone what's going on because they pretend they don't know. So it's like I'm left in a situation where if I try to explain to someone what's happening, they want to tell me I'm stupid, crazy. Like I'm imagining things or I'm paranoid. Anyway. Yeah, it's very... I feel very robbed and cheated. And for me to be treated like that, I've never done anything to anyone. Yeah, the girls are pushing their prams, walking behind me. And it's pretty strange. Anyway, Noel's working over east on his house. He's going to build his house over east. I was supposed to go over east with them about 3 years before that. But we hadn't left yet, so now Noel's gone to carry on building his house over east on the island for him and Mum. And Mum starts picking on me. She just started going off, like carrying on. All of a sudden, just like that. Sometimes for unknown reasons. I was just talking or joking with her. Talking or joking, and it's like, hey, then she'll just get mad. If I check the use by date on some package, what the fuck you did that? What, you think I'm going to poison you or something? Like a little kid. She just started going off and making me feel like I just said something wrong or done something wrong. And I didn't. You know what I'm saying? It's picking on me. The TV's still shaking. Uber reply came back. And they set out about 10 reasons. I've still got the form here. Why they're not going to give me the job. So I'm thinking to myself, how come Rob's still progressing in his life? He's an international drug trafficker as far as I'm concerned, and he told me, and what he's been dealing with drugs. And he's got to drive Uber around. So you mean you've got a job where you can take your drugs and sell them? You've got a job driving the public around. This is what I'm trying to fathom in my life at this time. So you've been trafficking drugs from Indonesia. When I've been dabbling in drugs, I've been getting it off you. Everybody's bullying me and treating me like shit and a pedophile and a rapist in life. And this guy's life is flourishing. He's got his car now. He's got his kid and his missus here in Australia. He's got his own place to live in. He's got an Uber job. He's even showing me, hey, look at, this is my Uber app. He's earning $1,400, $1,500 a week. I'm broke. I'm on the dole. People are treating me like a rapist, a pedophile, and a junkie. How the hell is this happening? How is this working? And you've got a job to drive the public around in your vehicle and deal your drugs. Because that's what we used to talk about years ago. You know what I'm saying? So you've got an Uber driver job to drive people around, and then you've got something to cover your drug dealing. So you can drive to anybody's house, sell them drugs. cover your ass because you're an Uber driver. What a great job. Wow. It's like your life is just a miracle dream. And I'm here getting fucking treated like crap, except. You know what I'm saying? I can't fathom it. I can't put it together. I can't work it out. I'm thinking to myself, this guy must be a policeman. He must be an undercover cop. Being allowed to get away with selling drugs, and he's got a job, an Uber job. You know what I'm saying? Trafficking drugs, doing his thing. He misses everything. I'm thinking to myself, this guy must be an undercover cop. He must be somebody important. Craig Hector is gone. I haven't seen him for ages. He was talking about renovating his houses, this and that. His missus, he plays guitar and everything. You know what I'm saying? He's progressing in his life. Nice house and car and kids. Rob's progressing in his life. Nice house, car and kids. I'm thinking to myself, how? Anyway, I wasn't thinking this deep at the time, but I'm thinking, why is this guy progressing in life? And one of my things was to progress in life. That's what I always used to think. You can get up to as much shit as you want, but as long as you progress in your life, you know, keep the faith, keep the hope, and progress in your life. That's what I used to say to myself. Yeah, I definitely thought I would get the job because he's got the Uber job and he used to be the dealer. So I've never dealt drugs in my life. I've dabbled in them, but I've never ever sold drugs in my life. So I'm thinking, people know, everybody knows me, so they know you. They've been following me around, so they've been watching me with you. I've definitely got to get a job too. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. The reply came back. They wrote, because I had a history of drink driving when I didn't have my license, they wrote down all my charges. They just replied back to me and relayed what my charges have been in the past, my history of drink driving, driving without a license, driving under suspension. And then they didn't give me a Uber job. And it's funny because when Rob took me to the police station to get a police clearance, he was talking about doing a burglary or armed robbery. We were talking about, I said, so have you been in any trouble in your life? He said, no, one time, long time ago, he had done a burglary, and it was aggravated burglary because he was in someone's house with a weapon, this and that, or blah, blah, blah. And I said to him, no, I've never done any burglaries or robberies or anything like that. I've got one or two assault charges, and mostly drink driving without a license when I didn't have my license, and that was it. It's a long list, but I mean, that was it. It was nothing too criminal like violence or corruption or drugs or anything. None of that shit. It's just driving without a license, driving without suspended, drink driving, and one or two assaults. That was it. So I thought I'm definitely in. They sent me this whole letter back, it said all these reasons. And I just felt like my passports with my baby, they disregarded my rights. I feel like people are invading my privacy. I couldn't get this job at Uber. The drug dealers are all being left alone. Nobody's worrying about them and everybody's bullying me. Anyway. So people are all walking in my way in front of me. Now I've had my hip operation. I'm limping with a walking stick. People are treating me like shit. People are not getting out of my way or giving me right of way. They're the opposite. They're walking in my way. They're literally pushing me over. You know what I'm saying? They're following me around, stalking me. They're talking shit within earshot of me. People that are over there talking, they're talking stuff that's relating to my life. And I'm thinking, how come everywhere I go, people are talking so I can hear them, and they're talking about stuff that's relating to me? They're pulling funny faces when they're talking to other people. Everyone's going like this. They're using their hands. They're expressing themselves in a strange way, you know. And it's like people are acting like they're disgusted with me. When they see me, they're like this. It's like as I look at someone, they look away like this. Everyone's putting a face like they're disgusted with me. And I don't know why. You don't even know me. How do you know me? Why are you making me feel like you're disgusted with me? Or I'm some kind of dog in society. Treat me like a dog. The buzzing in my ears is still happening now. That's like a dog whistle. People are trying to say I'm a dog. That's the system. They're saying I'm a dog. They've got a dog whistle, a high frequency pitch that's always 24/7 in my ears. Every time I move, it blows. Right now, it's happening. And it makes you anxious, it makes you want to eat more, it makes you want to do things, it makes you irritable, anxious. This has been happening from 2015 with this buzzing. That's when I realized that they were showing me they got a buzzing in my ears. I don't know how long before that it was happening. So if people had seen me looking strange or acting up, it's because these people, they put these frequencies inside of my ears. Right? Or I don't know how they get it to me. It's because my ears can hear a certain frequency. Everybody's ears can hear a certain frequency range. So it's like they've got my range figured out, and everywhere I go, that's what I'm hearing is this dog whistle like. Okay, anyway. I don't want to get too deep into it now. I'll discuss this later. I'm still just getting my story out. I've got to get this out first so I can tell you why all of this has happened. So anyway, yeah, and there's a guy pushing a trolley at Carousel behind me. Hey, he pushed it and he hit my shoe there. You know how that one hurts. Hey, you fucking Chinese, huh? Hey, I turned around, I tuned him, fucking, hey, what kind, this way and that. And he's acting all innocent, like, oh, yeah. And I know he done it on purpose because people are treating me like shit now. My brother said nothing. My brother's like taking his side, like, he's just looking at me. I expect him to stand up for me. One time at the shopping centre, a lady walked in front of me in Woolworths. I'm with my walking stick. She walked straight, cutting across in front of me, and I said, fucking hell, old bitch. My brother's going off at me, sir, what kind? You're doing that, aren't you, like that? I said to him, mate, I'm the guy with the walking stick here that's just had a hip operation. She just pushed in front of me and almost knocked me over. She's an employee here. She should have more respect for me. I'm the one that's got a walking stick that's just had a hip operation. So that walking stick says to you that basically, how can I say this? Basically, that means you should give me right of way. That means there's something wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? It means I've got a disability or I'm disabled at the moment or something. You know what I'm saying? So be, what's the word? Be courteous. You know what I'm saying? Be courteous. My brother tells me, hey, why are you saying that to the auntie? I said, oh, she fucking walked in front of me. She's supposed to be courteous to me. It doesn't matter because you're auntie this and that. Oh. Anyway, I felt a little betrayed, like he should have been on my side, you know. Anyway, I'm getting constant harassment in my ears 24/7. At home, the TV, the public, everywhere I go. So in this time, 2016, I'm thinking to myself, I'm laying in bed and I can hear people talking shit to me. When I had a smoke and I dabbled, people are talking shit to me. They fucking bully me from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. And I don't know why. Now I've dabbled in drugs to see if that was going to change people's attitude towards me. It hasn't. So now I'm in for that. I just done it to see if it's going to change their attitude towards me. Nothing's changed. So I'm thinking to myself, fucking, why is it worth living my life? Is my life worth living? Why are people bullying me? My family isolating me, society isolating me, everybody bullying me, treating me like shit. Treating me like an outcast and treating me disgustingly like a dog. Calling me a rapist and a pedophile. Why is everybody doing this? Why is my life worth living? Getting this treatment and I don't know why. I don't know why people are doing this to me. So this is what I'm thinking to myself one night. And then after that night, my mum said to me, because I was saying to myself, I need to get away, I need to go away, I need a holiday or something, man. Everybody's treating me like crap. This was after I felt like that. Then my mum said if I wanted to go to Africa. I was thinking to go to Bali or something, you know. A cheaper place where I can get more value for my buck. But Africa's the same. So I thought, hey, shot, you know what? my uncle's got a business there. All my uncles work. You know, they got their businesses and this and that. Africa would be a good choice. It's family. Last time I went to Africa, I felt all the love and, you know, with family and friends there. So I thought, I can't go wrong. Shot, I'll go to Africa. I need to get away. I need a place to rest and relax, you know, where people love me and I can get treated with some respect. I'm saying to the TV, shot, I'm going to fly to Africa, get me a laka cherry, you know, from Africa, laka church-going cherry or whatever, this and that. I'm tuning this to the TV. I don't know who these people are. Yeah, I'm going to fly to Africa, say get a laka cherry. Shot, you know. This Africa's hot, so I'm tuning like, yeah, I'm going to get a pure cherry. Anyway, just talking nonsense. I realized that was a mistake. Anyway, that was the wrong choice I made because when I went to Africa, I went to Dion's first in Pretoria. I stayed with him, Celine, Danica and Kirtley for a week in Pretoria when I first got there. When I got to the airport, people seemed a little strange there. I was waiting for ages. I was waiting for about 2 hours for Dion. And I realized that the same thing's happening in Africa there at the airport. That's happening the way people are treating me in Australia. Dion's making me wait. People in Australia are making me wait. I didn't think too deep about it because I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I waited at the airport for ages and stayed at Dion's. Tried to organize a passport, South African passport. I thought I wouldn't have a problem with that because Dion used to work in government there. And my auntie used to work in metros, so I didn't think I'd have a problem with it. I thought if I applied for a passport, I'll get it one time because my family works there. It wasn't to be, everything's like this and that. I'm waiting in line by these places. Hey, you gotta wait so long and this, go yeah and there. Anyway, it didn't happen in Pretoria. I went to Durban. Uncle Monty, Auntie Elaine and Uncle Bertie picked me up at the airport. So, Pretoria was alright, it wasn't too bad, but when I got to Durban and Auntie Elaine and then picked me up, yeah, every time I wanted to speak, someone would sniff, and every time I was going to say something, someone would cough. Or every time I tried to talk, someone would come up with a conversation or say something, just as I'm about to speak. And basically they flogging me off, like treating me like a cake pretty much, you know, making me feel stuck. I realized it was the wrong choice for me to come here. Because to feel like that, to get made to feel like that by your family it's a bit conflicting emotionally, especially when I don't know why they're treating me like that. So I can't say anything to anyone because they're just going to turn around and what they're going to say? Hey, yeah, you're imagining things like, what kind, you know, this, that, there. So I've been put in a situation as well now in Africa with my family. I came here to get away. I thought I'd find peace, love and happiness there, but it wasn't to be. Everyone's clearing their throats. I was very disappointed and I knew I made the wrong decision. I went to Auntie Teresa's birthday the next day. Then we were sitting at Auntie Teresa's one day and sister, Laverne's daughter, every time she's got these tight jeans on and this and that, you know, young girl, young aunties. So every time she walked past, you know, my uncle would cough or my auntie would sniff like, you know what I mean? It's like basically they're making me feel like I'm looking at their daughter or this young girl in some kind of sexual way, you know. It's like they cough every time she walked past. It's like if I looked at her, I feel like a cunt. Or if I looked at her, they sniff, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not looking at her. They're stigmatizing me to feel like I'm looking at this young girl in some kind of derogatory way, you know? It's fuck, exactly. Fucking this is my cousin, you know? And these are grown-up adults, older generation than me doing this shit, yeah? I don't know why they're doing this. But they're making me feel like an arsehole, man. I tried to organize my passport in Durban, that didn't happen. We went to LA. Laverne asked me for money, I gave her some money, I bought her a new phone. I went for a ride with Grant, and he kept pointing his finger like, you know, he was telling me about the countryside, and he kept pointing his finger like in my face, you know, he'll point there, and I'm thinking, hey, now it's like he's guarding me like everybody else. I haven't checked you for how long, you know, I'm trying to start guarding me now. Feeling swag, you know, feeling like an idiot. I'm thinking, are there people watching me now in your car? But the voices now are not talking to me. These people communicating with me, they're not talking to me much, they're quiet. They're not saying much. People are just acting now. But there's no voices communicating with me. Anyway, I went to Drakensburgh with Vaughn and Marcel and Uncle Marty and them. Not much happened there. The horses weren't happening. The activities weren't going on. Auntie Imelda and me were chatting one time. And we were chatting about something naughty, I think. And she didn't tell me, but Uncle Marty was right behind me. And then I realized he was behind me, and I realized, Auntie, why I never said nothing? What if I said something that made me feel blind in front of Uncle Marty? What if I said something to you that I felt blind saying in front of Uncle Marty? You know, she never told me that she's standing right behind me. I felt a bit cheated, you know. I felt like she set me up to make me feel swag, in case I said something. But I'm a 40-year-old man, you know. As far as I'm concerned, I can say anything I want, within reason, depending on who I'm with. Anyway. Joey was supposed to organise me a gold slit. He didn't organise me a gold slit. He tuned one day, no worries. And he done this thing like he stuck his tongue out his mouth. Because he said he'll be back in